Are you ready?
Yes!
We oppose! We oppose! We oppose! Until as we gather here to reiterate our courage and faith, I congratulate each one of us for making it possible to come here and show to the world what Nagas and who Nagas are. A Christian martyr once said, "If I die, I want to be remembered for courage and my faith." The Memorandum of the Naga people to the President of India through the Governor of Nagaland, after which we shall have a concluding remark out there at the designated area outside Log Bhavan. I now invite the President of the Kohima Baptist Pastors Fellowship for reading of the word and invocation.
God, our Heavenly Father, the Creator and the Sustainer of the universe, in the name of Jesus, who is above all names and authorities. Today, young and old,
this voice must tell the world what and who we are, and therefore we must give the best of our best. Are we ready? Yes. We oppose! We oppose! We oppose! Thank you.
I hope we all know why we are here. Today, we are gathered here as a custodian of the history. A conscience and a collective dignity that has endured through generations of our struggles. This gathering stands a solemn declaration that the identity and the beliefs of the Naga people cannot be dictated by administrative directive, nor dilute by imposed symbols. The issue before us today arises from a notification by the Ministry of Home Affairs on 28 January 2026, mandating the plain and compulsory observing of the national song Vande Mataram during the official functions and in educational institutions. Let me state with absolute clarity today, the Naga people bear no hostility towards any nation or the symbol or the patriotic national song of any country. Indeed, Naga people have respected all the nations, the national song, the anthem, the symbol of the nations. Naga people respect and we have lived in peaceful coexistence with all the communities, with all the religion, with all the race. Across the valley, across the Naga Hills, there are churches, there are temples, there are mosques, but Naga people have never disturbed any religion, but Naga Students Federation have always kept them with a big heart and with a generous heart. Today, I want the young and old to understand why the Naga Students Federation is taking forward this issue and matter to the government of India. We are here not to judge any individuals or communities on the basis of religion, race, or gender. However, the imposition of the revised Vande Mataram presents a fundamental issue of our conscience. Therefore, the Naga people have to come forward. It is not only the movement of the Naga Students Federation, but it is a movement of the entire Naga people across the Naga homeland. Today, let me tell you, this protest, this rally is not only happening in Kohima, all MLA junction alone. But let me tell you, this demonstration is happening in the entire Naga homeland by our units, our subordinate body, and the churches in the Naga homeland. As the chairperson has stated, today we should not waver our stand from where we are. We are here to show unity. We are here to stand for the rights, for the faith of what we believe. And we are here to show the government of India very clear that the imposition of the Vande Mataram cannot be imposed on the Naga people. Let me remind you, in a democratic country, the will of people is supreme and the ultimate law. If I have to refer, let me also tell you about the International Declaration of Law. Article 18 of the Universal Declarations of Human Rights clearly reaffirms that every individual has the right to freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religions. That includes the freedom manifest one belief or to refrain from practice that violates our beliefs. And similarly, the Article 27 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights guarantees that ethnic, religious, and linguistic minorities shall not be denied the right to enjoy their own culture and practice their own beliefs that have already clearly given to the people by the international communities. Today, the Indian government is trying to suppress the Naga people by imposing this Vande Mataram. Let me cite you an example. The recent visit of the Vice President of India to Nagaland University, where under the directive of the Naga Students Federation, the Nagaland University Students Union, they remained seated when this Vande Mataram was being played during the program. This shows that we are clearly against the imposition of the Vande Mataram. And I was also informed that the Vice President, on his opening remarks speech, he stated that it would be good if we respect each other culture. But let me tell you very clearly, when the government of India, the mighty government of India, cannot respect the culture, the sanctity of the Naga people, then how can they expect the same respect that they are urging for from the Naga people. I think we have to make ourselves very clear on this. Today, the Naga people are not asking for privileges. In fact, we are exercising the right that are already inserted, enacted, and enshrined in the international law. Let me tell you again, Naga people are not asking for privileges. Naga people, we are exercising the rights that is already inserted, enacted, and enshrined in the international law. The Indian government cannot impose the revised Vande Mataram on the Naga people. If we have to see who is the composer, we have the highest respect for the composer of the song Vande Mataram by Mr. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. His intention may be secular when he composed this very poem, or we consider this as a national song. But let me tell you, some of the religious fundamentalist intention to idolize the song with religious means in the national song is unacceptable. I think we have to be very clear with what we are standing here for. Their intention to impose their goddess on us is arbitrary in a democratic and a secular nation and a society. Today, the Naga people are very clear of what we are sounding to the government of India. Let it be known that the Naga people have a very big heart. And let me also cite one incident where one of the vested interest person who have condemned, who have intentionally dragged the name of the Naga Students Federation and tarnished the name of Naga people in the social media as well as the print media. I don't feel important to be mentioning his name in this particular rally, but that particular stupid man, I don't know how far does he knows about the history of the Naga people. He have mentioned that Naga people are brought to the Delhi. He was trying to threaten the Naga people by misinterpreting the history of the Naga people, by quoting and stating that Naga people are a few community where the mighty India can suppress the Naga people. But let it be known today to that particular person and the India government that Naga people are not a stranger to intimations. For decades, our homeland, the Naga homeland, have witnessed overwhelming military presence. Generations have grown up under the shadow of armed camp, checkpoints, and surveillances. Yet, despite this, the consciousness of the Naga people have not erased but stand united. If decades of the military presence could not erase our identity or the faith of what we believe, how can anyone imagine that administrative, circular, or symbolic can succeed over the Naga people? Today, let me remind the people that while this central rally takes place here in Kohima, similarly, the demonstrations are being observed across the educational institution and by the federating units and the subordinate bodies of the federation throughout the Naga homeland. Therefore, let this message of this rally reach out the President of India, to whom we shall submit our memorandum through the Governor of Nagaland. Let this message reach to those who attempt to distort history for personal gains or recognition of their big bosses. The Naga people have endured much, but our spirit remains unbroken. Our identity cannot be erased by threat, or our history cannot be rewritten by propagandists. Our conscience cannot be banned by administrative directive, and our identity can never be surrendered in front of any people. Today, we stand united not against any nation or community, but for the protection of our beliefs, our identity, and our future. The rally that we hold today is peaceful, but the conviction behind it is unshakable. Because when a people stand together in defense of their conscience, no power on this earth can move the silent, dear voice of the Naga people. May this conscience of the Naga people continue to guide our path and our future in one united voice. May God bless the Naga people. May God bless the Naga Students Federation. Kuknalim.
Rich with God's resources, green fields full and fruitful, and give to us to master our heritage.
Today we are gathered here for something which seems unimportant. Just one little song of the Hindu community. But this small imposition of a song called Vande Mataram is nothing short than an invasion into our hearts and our very soul. India, since its independence in 1947, glorified itself as one of the biggest democracy in the world. In reciprocation, the world community also regarded as India as the world's biggest democracy. Later on, it came to be known as the world's largest democracy. But in the meantime, India is also a proud signatory of almost every important international covenant, human rights declaration, covenants and agreements with the rest of the world. Amongst them, what stands out is the respect for each other's faith, religion, and belief. The secular form of India was respected worldwide. The other side of the international relationship India had with the world community was also the respect for the right to life. But when such a thing as Vande Mataram is being imposed on people who do not follow their faith or belief, after all, Hinduism is only a religion of India and a few others perhaps. But the rest of the world practice other religions, faith, and worship. But when the very spirit of secularism is violated, betrayed by its own commitment to the signatures they have put in front of the world, when the very rights of right to life of humankind is being violated, destroyed, and insulted through the impositions of laws such as the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which has killed hundreds of thousands of Nagas, young and old, boys and girls, for the last more than 70 years. What is the meaning of India being the world's largest democracy? Its commitment to secularism, or even its most little obligation to human rights and life, right to life. In this context, United Nations and many other democratic societies and countries and human rights organizations tried to help India overcome this embarrassment, because India has become an embarrassment not only in itself as a democratic country, but it is embarrassing every other democratic societies across the world. United Nations, through its different mechanisms, came to different parts of India. It even held special hearings every 4 years after the United Nations was formed under a system called Universal Periodic Review. Under Universal Periodic Review, every country in the world which are a member of the United Nations, their human rights records are questioned and examined. In all these processes, United Nations officials time and again requested India to review its stand on Armed Forces Special Forces Act. Organizations like Amnesty International, who has been working side by side all over the world for human rights, also requested India time and again to review its position on Armed Forces Special Forces Act. In order to respond to the government, to this universal and international request, Government of India also set up its own commission to study the prospect of reviewing these laws. In 2005, the Sanjeeva Reddy Commission was set up. Review was done for almost 5 years. And India's own commission asked the government of India to review its law, Armed Forces Special Forces. The Supreme Court of India was requested, if the government of India cannot review the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, at least to remove the clause, one small clause, which says the right for Indian Army to shoot and kill anybody on suspicion. They refused to even remove that law, the word shoot to kill. What Amnesty International did in 2015 was, besides its request, it even wrote letters, official letters to the government of India. Amnesty told India that India is known as the world's largest democracy. Please remove the Armed Forces Special Powers Act from Indian system, and the world will call India as the world's greatest democracy. Not biggest, not largest, but greatest democracy. Great country among great nations. What did India do in return? Instead of thanking Amnesty International, it raided Amnesty International's office in Delhi and in Bangalore in 2019. It sent its enforcement director to destroy, destruct, search every files in every nook and corners of the Amnesty's offices. Amnesty International was forced to close down its offices in India, and by 2020, they left India. This is the kind of gratitude India can show even to its sympathizers. And that's why India continues to be an ever-increasing embarrassment to the World Committee of Nations. Democracy insulted, secularism humiliated. That is India. If you look at how India is trying to impose Vande Mataram on small Christian community and negligible people of not even 3 or 4 millions, even if you count the Nagas in the Burmese side of the border. India is, by population, the world's biggest population now. And to add to what I said earlier, India is no longer called the biggest democracy or the largest democracy, not even reaching half of being the world's greatest democracy, but now India is referred not only in speaking, but even in writing as the world's most populous democracy. Big population, it has overtaken China, but a shameless big population. So it is no longer referred to as the world's biggest or largest democracy. This has started happening only a few years ago. And even in the United Nations corridor, in the official communications, they write India as the world's most populous democracy. If you look at how Vande Mataram is forced, it seems to me like it is intended only to humiliate and further insult people like the Nagas and small Christian communities in this northeastern part of the world. How many Christian leaders are being persecuted, tortured, and killed? It just brings fresh memories of how Reverend Graham Staines and his two sons, 10-year-old and 6-year-old sons, were burned alive to death inside their car in 1999 in Orissa. How more than 1,000, 2,000 people across Gujarat was killed in a riot. Muslim population, more than 2,000 were killed by Hindu fundamentalists. This is called India. And still they want to call themselves as the major power of the world. And they're seeking seat in the Security Council of the United Nations. As long as they don't know how to respect secularism and their own commitment to rise to life of its people, I don't want to say that Nagas are their citizens. We're not Indians. But when we say we're Indians, we insult their very mentality. We insult their institutions. We insult their intelligence. And that's why things called racial discriminations take place in different parts of the world. Like Nagas, Misos, Arunachalis, whatever, northeastern people who look Chinkies, who are called Momos or Chows or whatever. When we say we're Indians, they know we're intruding because they know we're not Indians. But when we say we're Indians, we're trying to steal away their identity. So let us be careful. Whether you go to Delhi or Bombay or New York, you're a Naga. Never call yourself as Indian. Otherwise, you'll face further humiliation. If you say, I'm a Naga, I've struggled for my identity and my people for over 3 generations, 4 generations, people will hold you in the highest respect. But often, in our attempt to please others, to appease their hostile attitude against us, we try to humiliate ourselves to please our enemies. And that is where our sufferings, our human sufferings, increases by the day. Let me just take you a quick roundup of how the Naga situation is today. When India got independence and Nagas asserted our own right to independence, India immediately attempted act of genocide to wipe away Nagas from the face of the earth, to annihilate the Nagas from the face of Northeast India. They burned down all our villages, raped our mothers and sisters, killed our fathers and brothers, hunted them to the jungles like animals. For years together, our elders lived in jungles like animals. You have not even heard those stories, my friends. Most of you who are standing here today, your children who were born after the second ceasefire, so-called peace. What your fathers and your ancestors has gone through, even animals have not gone through. So it was a failed genocide in the first instance. But first ceasefire was brought, Naga leaders were put in the comforts of negotiations, some kind of peace negotiation, and weakened the Naga nationalists. And some kind of an agreement called Slongokor was forced on the Nagas, which brought, for the first time, uncontrollable violence among the Nagas. Now we're facing a second ceasefire, which is going to bring even more uncontrollable violence among Nagas, which we can see blinking everywhere in the different corners of Nagaland, in Kohima, in Dimapur. There are sections of young Naga societies with different school of thoughts. Those Nagas who love our land and our identity are called anti-national, anti-Indians, who are called rebels, who are called terrorists, who are called militants at the kindest level. Those Nagas who seek comfort and pleasure from our enemies are called Indian nationalists. Today, this class of people, this handful class of people, are running and ruining our Naga society. They control our stomach, they control our brain, they control our mouth. Sometimes we innocently obey them, and we allow them to control our hearts and our minds. This Vande Mataram imposition, as somebody just mentioned, just woke us up. But the elders, as I said earlier, are still sleeping, enjoying their endless luxuries, gifts channeled from the government of India through the state government and other central schemes. They will eat, sleep, and enjoy till their stomach blows out from them. It's okay. But as long as we are alive, we will keep our identity alive. We will keep our homeland safe. So the least for us to do today is we fight back. And if necessary, we die in dignity. Otherwise, we will forever live in humiliation. Thank you.
Christian Forum is deeply disturbed by the directives of the Ministry of Home Affairs, the government of India, directing all states and union territories to sing or chant the national song Vande Mataram during every official functions, including schools and institutions across the country, while acknowledging the spirit of patriotism and well-being of the country. The Nagaland Joint Christian Forum has taken a strong exception of certain elements in the content which is adverse to our Christian faith and principles. The ideology of secularism, as enshrined in the preamble of the Indian Constitution, must be upheld in letter and spirit. In connection with this, Nagaland as a Christian dominant state cannot compromise its religious ideology by the directive of the Union Ministry of Home Affairs, and therefore outrightly rejects the directives and urges the government of the day to uphold the principle of secularism in the country. To this, we also appeal all the Naga legislators and the government of the day to be loyal to your faith and uphold the spirit of one faith, one baptism, one people under God, and safeguard our faith and our unity. The Nagaland Joint Christian Forum impressed upon the government of India to respect the rights of religious minorities who have equally contributed to the social fabric and building of the nation in every aspect. We were not found wanting. We contributed, we did our best, and we are proud people to defend our faith, our culture, and our rights. there are things where it is best to remain silent and allow people to choose and decide for themselves. And so Vande Mataram is one of such, because it submits allegiance to a deity which is contrary to our Christian faith and belief. It must be known that national anthem is enough to unify the country into one, and nothing should come before or after that. We are not opposed to the patriotic song, but we will not, as a Christian majority society, allow our children to chant something which defies their faith and allegiance to the Almighty God. Nagaland Joint Christian Forum is of the opinion that it is a matter of conscience, and Vande Mataram cannot be forced against the conscience of the people who choose in the belief different from the Hindus. We also express our resentment and our unhappiness against the government of India for denying visas and safe passage to our Christian leaders, pastors, and friends who wish to visit our homeland. And so we appealed the government of India to uphold the spirit of coexistence and respect each other, and allow our friends to come and visit us, and we can also visit other countries as well. To make our position more poignant, our Bible teaches us not to bow down to any alien gods and goddesses. And we cannot owe allegiance to any deity or statues. This act is abominable to Yahweh, the God of the Christian, whom we worship and will continue to worship and serve Him. We do not demean the spirit in which the poem was composed. Our admiration to the composer and his patriotic spirit is acknowledged and will be held in high esteem. But beyond that, when it is forced upon us, we will take our stand. Here we stand together as people of God. So Lord, help us. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
And there are many attacks in our land. And today, we are threatened and intimidated by many schemes and devices to pull down our very existence. Nagas needs to learn from all these angles and stand together to safeguard our rights and freedom. Our Naga culture is totally different from the rest of India. Our culture, history, and practices we learned through oral traditions from village elders to younger generations in Morong. Men gathered in Morong to learn from leaders and elders of the community. The elders will tell the history, culture, and practices by oral traditions over and over again so that younger generation will learn from it. Naga's identity is unique from the rest of India. Our ancestors, even before Christianity came, lived in harmony, unity, and respect. They never bowed down to their enemies and never give up, but they withstood and fight until the victory is won. Today, through Christianity and education, our Naga peoples are advancing in many fields. And we are proud of that. But unfortunately, we are entangled and fallen into many traps and snares where we need to look back and check ourselves. The song Vande Mataram is a Hindu religious song praising their deities, God and goddesses. As a Christian, how we can differentiate in our faith and belief system? Bible says in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14-15, that righteousness has no partnership with lawlessness. And light has no communion with darkness. Jesus has no part with Satan. Therefore, as a Christians, we cannot take part in singing such songs in our public gatherings, government offices, and institutions. Let us stand together, voice out together, to fight against the common enemy to safeguard our rights and freedom. We are grateful to NSF office bearers and leaders for organizing this rally and a very grand success. May the Lord continue to bless you, and our support will be with you and stand with you. May the Lord bless us. God bless.
Guise of national integration, but underneath this lay a reprehensible hidden agenda of Hinduization of India itself. I stand here as President, Catholic Association of Nagaland, to voice the concerns of the Catholic Church. As per the decision of Diocesan Pastoral Council, Diocese of Kohima, held on 13th of this month, we for one are greatly miffed by the imprudent notification of the Government of India imposing the singing of Vande Mataram in all institutions of the state, which has verses of worship of Hindu goddesses. We have no objection to the national anthem, the Jana Gana, because it is in the true spirit of India, but cannot accept the Vande Mataram, which has a narrow religious connotation and with no constitutional validation either. And Nagaland as a state created under a special constitutional provision that affirms our freedom to exercise our choice of religious beliefs and social practices cannot and shall not accept such a notification in the state of Nagaland. We term this notification not only as a defiance to the spirit of the Constitution of India through its narrow political gimmick, but also an insult to the Constitution of India itself that embraces the reality of a nation that is made up of various races, creed, languages, religious beliefs, and regions through the consensus declaration that India will be and shall be a democratic and secular nation. In point of fact, historically speaking, the word Indus is the name of a river from which the name India is derived from. But ironically today, even this river is not in the present India, but in Pakistan. And opposed to this geographical reality, the central government of the day is trying to impose Hinduism on all Indians as if the citizens of the country are oblivion to the time-tested provisions of freedom of belief and livelihood with dignity as citizens of free India, protected from all past, present, and future political regimes' misadventures. The notification on Vande Mataram to be sung in all institutions and government functions, therefore, is nothing but
a political gimmick. History also tells us that even the word Hindustan was coined not by an Indian, but a Persian, present-day Iran, by which it meant land of the Hindus, but referring to the habitation and region around the Indus River and not the whole of British India nor India today. Furthermore, it may be noted here that this notion was popularized not by free India, but during the medieval period by Persian and Mughal rulers. So, what is great or novel about Hindustan of the then Mughal or British India, or now, when even the terminology Hindustan had been given by invaders of India itself? Having said thus, we must admit that India today is a great nation in the community of nations of the world. But India is great not because of Hinduism or Hindustan, but rather by the vibrancy and diversity of its diverse citizens. It is vibrant because it endured years of subjugation of various foreign dominations, from marauding Persians and Mughals to the 100 years of British colonialism. India is great not because of its wealth alone, but because of its creativity and above all, its accommodativeness in attitude. India is great not because of its uniformity of people or homogeneity of race, but because of its diversity in race, culture, faith, language, and color. India is also great not because of its dictatorial governments of the past or present, but by the defeat of all tyrants and monarchs by democratic principle of governance it embraced. No wonder India is called one of the largest democracies of the world, and this is the strength of India, supported by birth of great minds through the generations among its citizens and the abundance of resources nourished by the federal structure of the country. The central government ought to swallow this truth as a bitter pill or face an unwanted eventual disintegration of India through such wrong policies of arbitrary ideas promoted by one's religious bigotry. I'm saying this because destiny of a nation can be uncertain, where anything can turn up for a wrong reason, which often are self-destructive, that leads to ultimate fall of a nation. For instance, leave alone the Naga issue aside. In fact, the greatest apprehension for India today is in its possible disintegration, like the erstwhile USSR. This USSR, as we know, occupied 1/6 of the Earth's land surface and inhabited by multilingual states in the likeness of India, and with approximately more than 130 native languages, each professing and practicing their own cultures and belief systems. Such conglomerations are often a potential for disintegration. The ultimate disintegration of USSR took the world by surprise because outwardly the tyrannical rule of the communist regime appeared impregnable, not aware that the federating units with their multilingual federations were thoroughly discontented with Moscow's carrot and stick policies that was beneficial only to the Muscovite oligarchy, and tragically the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war is adding impetus to further disintegration of Russia itself, which is not a good sign for India's federal structure, for the reason that both have similar disparities and conflict of interests. What is all the more claiming for possible India's disintegration is In contrast to the USSR situation, India, as we all know, is a country that fought with sweat and blood for its freedom from the yoke of British colonialism. It achieved its independence because of a strong belief in freedom of speech and freedom to practice one's religion without fear or favor, and hence a disturbance or a disruption to these long-cherished secular values enshrined in the Constitution of India as a principle in the governance of its federating states and regions will not only trigger the most unlikely manifestation of disintegration of the country itself, and the prime cause for such an unfortunate fallout, if at all, will be caused by none other than a mindless imposition of an unsecular and undemocratic notification like this Vande Mataram. Thank you very much.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid to dream. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Thank you. Now, in order to
Thank you.